Alright, welcome. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest mark earners in your GCSE English language paper, the AO3 comparison question.
So, let's just start with a really simple question, right? Comparing stuff seems easy. But if that's true, why do so many people miss out on the top marks for this huge 16-mark question? Turns out, just spotting similarities and differences isn't enough. Not even close. So, here's what we're going to do. Think of it like we're building a pyramid together. First, we'll build our solid base by showing you the common traps to avoid. Then, we'll climb up by revealing the secret to a killer structure, master the methods that get you to the top, and finally, we'll give you the exact blueprint for a grade 9 answer. All right, let's get into it. Before we can climb, we need to know what we're up against. Let's start at base camp and identify the biggest problem holding students back. Okay, so the key phrase here, the one you've got to lock onto, is how these are conveyed. The examiner doesn't just want to know what the writers are thinking. That's the easy part. They want to know how they're using their writer's toolkit to get those ideas across. And look at that, 16 marks. That is a massive chunk of your paper to grade. This isn't just a few points. Getting this question right can literally be the difference between moving up a grade boundary. So yeah, we need to nail this. So this is the number one trap. The classic mistake, writing one paragraph all about source A and then another paragraph all about source B. That's not comparing. That's just listing. What you're aiming for, the goal, is to weave them together in every single paragraph, right from the first sentence. And look, this is straight from the horse's mouth, the AQA mark scheme for a low-level answer. See that word that keeps popping up? Simple. Writing separate, simple points is what keeps you stuck in the lower levels. We're aiming way, way higher. Okay, so if that's the trap, how do we avoid it? How do we build that solid, integrated structure? Let's start the climb and look at the core technique, a powerful, repeatable formula you can use every single time. All right, think of this slide as your secret recipe, your foolproof formula for a perfect paragraph. Seriously, follow these 5 steps in order and you are pretty much guaranteed to be hitting all the right notes for the examiner. It forces you to compare. And these words, these are the magic glue. They're the little signposts that you're constantly waving at the examiner shouting, "Hey, I'm comparing." Using these isn't optional. They are absolutely essential to hold your argument together. And boom, here it is in the wild. This is a perfect step 1 sentence. See how it links both texts right away? It finds a similarity, they both use personification, but then it instantly pivots with that word "but" to show the crucial difference in effect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, you've built the structure, you're climbing the mountain, now it's time to plant your flag at the summit. This next part is the elite skill. This is what separates a pretty good answer from a truly perceptive grade 9 answer. And here we go again, back to the mark scheme, but this time for the top band. And what's the magic word? Perceptive. It's everywhere. The best answers don't just spot methods, they get right into how those methods are working. So here's the big secret, the grade 9 mindset shift. It's not about playing spot the device. He uses a simile, she uses a metaphor. The perceptive question is, what job is that simile doing? And how does the job of that metaphor compare? It's all about comparing the function. This table just lays it all out perfectly. Look at this. Both writers want to do the same thing, make the train seem alive, but they go about it in totally different ways. Fleming's personification makes the train seem like a naughty kid. It's almost funny. But Kemble, her extended metaphor of a she-dragon makes the train feel mythical, powerful, heroic. Same idea, totally different vibe. And don't forget, your toolkit is huge. We're talking way beyond just similes and metaphors. How about comparing the tone? Imagine comparing how one writer builds a cynical tone while the other creates a feeling of pure awe. Now that's perceptive. All right, let's put it all together. Let's look at what a full-blown grade 9 paragraph actually looks like step by step. This is your blueprint. Step 1, the point. You start strong. Look how this sentence does 2 things at once. It finds a similarity, they're both in awe, but it immediately pivots to the huge difference in their perspectives. You're hitting ideas and perspectives right from the get-go. Step 2, dive into source A. And notice, it's not just a quote dropped in there. We name the method, dismissive personification, and then we get super specific about the effect. It reduces the train's power and makes it seem trivial. That's sharp analysis. Step 3, time to pivot. And you signal it clearly with a connective like in complete contrast. Now we do the same for source B, identifying the extended metaphor and explaining how its effect is the complete opposite of Fleming's. It elevates the train, making it heroic. And finally, step 4, the synthesis. This is the mic drop moment. You zoom out and make that final, powerful judgment. It's not just about what the methods do, but what they mean. Fleming mocks technology's failure. Kemble celebrates its potential. That's a top-level insight. So what's the magic formula here? Let's boil it down. It compares from the very first word. It analyzes the function of methods, not just the names. It uses short, punchy quotes. And it shows a deep, clear understanding of what each writer is trying to achieve. Nail these, and you are on track for a fantastic mark. So there you have it. That's the blueprint. You've got the structure, you've got the grade 9 mindset, you've got the whole toolkit. Now it's your turn. Next time you see two texts, what story are you going to uncover between them? Go build your way to the top marks.